All right, you guys, let's just dive into it. Tyler Perry's The Oval, Season 5, Episode 1, Turning Tables. Victoria devises an alternative strategy after Hunter finds himself in a dangerous predicament. Bobby finds himself taking the brunt of Priscilla's hatred towards Sam. So the last episode, we saw the physical altercation between Victoria as well as Simone. The two of them fall over the balcony and end up on the floor of the White House, still rolling and attempting to physically harm each other. These two ladies are finally separated by the Secret Service. Now, the Secret Service are instructed by Victoria to restrain Simone and also to take Simone to the presidential bunker. So, y'all know the presidential bunker is like it's a small jail if you ask me, but it's basically if the president is threatened, that's where they'll go to take him. But now she's been held and taken down to the presidential bunker, but of course before she leaves she has to be popped literally by Victoria. She has to put hands on her at least twice. She has to get in a good two-piece spicy biscuit and get those hands on her because she really was hitting and missing in this initial altercation. But anyway, the Secret Service agent is like, man, we can't do that, we can't do that. So she lays one on him. Victoria lays hands on him, and so he's just like, okay. And then they finally take her down to the bunker, you guys. But then Victoria goes in to see the president, and she's there to tell him the news that, did you know that Simone came over here and we got into a physical altercation? She basically comes over to she goes in and talk to Hunter, but Hunter is laid out on the floor, y'all. Y'all know he did a little snorty snort with that concoction created by the one and only Allen that included fentanyl. So now he has OD'd and he is laid out on the ground. The doctor comes in. Of course, Alonzo is there, and Alonzo is just panicking. Oh my God. If something happens, of course, Victoria's like, you gonna die if something happens to him. And did you give him this? Did you give him this? Of course, Alonzo is in denial. The only way they can prove it is to see you do it. And so he's denying it until the very end. But of course, Victoria threatens him and lets him know that if he is unalive, then there's going to be an even bigger problem on your hands, Alonzo. So then we're at the house of Donald and his lovely wife Lily. But we thought that Donald had been clicked, plopped, and unalived on the last season. However, it was this piece of meat, a piece of tail, that in matching pajamas that was in the bed, that was the victim of Brian, who was the police officer who came there, to take out Donald. So Donald goes downstairs. He's walking around trying to see, and he sees more Secret Service agents are laid out, which means Brian has got the best of this entire house. And then we also see Donald get on the phone and call Cal and says, you need to come to the house. There's been a big problem. So then in walks Lily, and I'm still like so freaking confused. Lily, why are you even still there? She gives Donald this story that Brian hit her because she was trying to stop him from going upstairs. Just this whole big old story, because initially Donald said that she was the one that was trying to unalive him, but we know that absolutely was not the case. Donald just got himself in a bit of trouble when he attempted to take the life of Brian on the last episode, or try to stop him from his job, stop his benefits. So anyway, Brian really didn't have anything else to lose. So then you guys, we see that Victoria calls Donald and lets him know, I need you to come to the White House. Well, once she lets him know what has happened at the White House, he then turns back around and calls Kyle and tells Kyle, don't come to my house. Come to the White House. We have an even bigger problem at the White House, y'all. So the episode was absolutely crazy. The tables were absolutely turning. We do find out that Kareem survived his head injury. We find this out because Dale as well as Alan are at the police department, and the police officer comes in and says that the only way your friend Sharon can actually leave is if Kareem is able to wake up and tell us what is going on. But we know because she hit him with that bat, Kareem has a very bad head injury. We also see that Allen has been arrested. He was found at the store. I guess he was taking the drugs back, and they end up handcuffing him. So now he's at the police department, and he's gonna be left to have to explain himself. Why did you go back, Alan? Why did you go back? But y'all, I really don't feel sorry for Alan simply because he was still laying hands on Ellie. Even though Ellie was kicking it with the president, I don't feel sorry for Alan. He had no business putting his hands on Ellie. So now you get what you get. So anyway, at the hospital, we see that Nancy is awake and she's just complaining her neck is hurting, but she doesn't remember exactly what happened. And Richard is there trying to ask her, little bits and pieces of questions, but then he doesn't. He wants to, I can tell that he wants to let her know about Barry. However, she's not in the state of mind and probably 9 times out of 10 won't be able to handle Barry. But at the end, y'all, she tells the doctor that Richard was the one that tried to put his hands around her throat and apply pressure, okay? But we all know that that's not the case. I don't think the doctor is going to believe that as well. I think he's going to, just dismiss that as her basically being out of her mind at this moment. So then we see, because there's also a moment where Victoria gets on the phone, and I'll say this. Donald arrives at the White House, and Donald is told by the First Lady basically what happened. But then he tells her, you can't call Eli, you can't call the Vice President, because then that would make him the president, because the president is actually incapacitated. And Eli, and of course Victoria's playing it off. No, we can't tell him. But then she does want to tell him, because she's like, maybe we should tell him, let him know what's going on. Now we know that Victoria has this little thing with Eli, so I don't know who she's really loyal to. Is she loyal to herself, or is she okay with Eli coming in and being the president? Hey, we got a black president. That's all I'm saying. But then you guys, after Donald and Victoria have that conversation, she still proceeds to call Eli and let Eli know, hey, now's your chance, buddy. Your boy has OD'd and your girl is locked up downstairs in the bunker. She came and we had a physical altercation, and now it is what it is. And he said, so you have her secure? Yes, she's definitely secure and locked the freak up. So moving on, you guys, we see that Jason has made his way into the area of the Rockadusha compound. We were all trying to figure out how Jason ended up on the Rockadusha compound. Well, this is it. We see that his motorcycle, the bike that he stole, basically was stalling. So he was on the Rockadusha compound trying to get that thing started, but then he asked for help. And of course, Manny gonna do his job. He find you outside the perimeter of the Rockadusha compound. Now you're a part of the Rockadusha compound. I'm sure we'll definitely see more of that, maybe next episode or the 3rd episode coming up. Jason and his time on the Rockadusha compound. Then finally, you guys, we see a conversation where Sam and Max are having this long drive. They have places they're supposed to be. However, Sam's mind is literally on Priscilla and Bobby. And y'all, I thought that this conversation between Bobby or Sam and Max was going to calm Sam down, but it seems as if it literally made things worse. So after Sam drops Max off to where he's supposed to go, which Max is supposed to go and escort the vice president into the White House, he decides to make a U-turn and go to the presidential hotel or the presidential suite, where he finds Bobby and Priscilla. Now, in the midst of this, Bobby is rubbing on Priscilla, trying to get her to, slide the panties to the side, but Priscilla really is not with it. She's really only there because she was trying to make Sam jealous, and it kind of worked, but it got so much that jealousy became blind, and Sam pulled the blicky on Bobby and fired multiple shots. Now, do you guys, let me know in the comments below, do you guys think that Bobby was actually popped with real ammo? Or do you guys think it was blanks? I think it was blanks. Blanks hurt just as bad as real ammo, but I think it was blanks. Let me know, again, let me know your thoughts, your comments on the matter at hand, y'all. This episode was absolutely crazy. Again, I'm just like all over the place with it, but I'm loving it. I'm super glad that the show has returned, and I'm definitely looking forward to the show returning next week, every Tuesday, 9-8 Central Standard Time. I'm definitely here for it all. And another thing, Max told Bobby, or he told Sam, he was like, that's basically his karma. You know, he cheated with the first lady, so did he not expect Priscilla to react? You know what I mean? Did he not expect her to do the same thing? Well, anyway, you guys, that's it. That's all. That was the end of the episode. Everything was literally crazy. I'm looking to see next week also whether or not Bobby will survive the shenanigans. Drop your comments in below if you think Bobby will make it or nah. Okay? All right, y'all. That's about it. Thank you all so much for tapping in and tuning in to this full recap of The Oval. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you are new to my channel, find me for the first time, please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you can receive reminders of new content. Also, you guys, if I missed something, drop them in the comments below. Let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about it, okay? All right, y'all, that's about it. Thank you so much, and you already know, stay ruthless.